Alright guys, welcome to another video. If you're not subscribed yet, make sure you subscribe because we always upload every now and then. The goal of our channel is to simplify the web for everyone. Also like. If you're curious why I'm uploading React videos rather than uploading your favorite video, maybe HTML video or CSS video, you should consider commenting the video that you want and the reason why you want it. I'll make sure I upload it. This video is basically about explaining some things about React. So we left off installing a new React application. We explained how easy it is to get started with React. React is not supposed to be complex, although it looks like it's complex, but it's not, I promise you. So if you stick with me and make sure you ask questions in the comments section, pay attention to these videos very carefully and ask me questions. We'll see rather quickly that React itself, it's nothing to be scared about. It's very easy. I'm going to quickly open up my VS Code from where we left off. So if you don't know how we got to this video, please check the playlist. I think I'll link down in the description or check the previous video. Let's quickly look at everything going on here and what we did on the last video by running npm start. When you install any React application, you get all these things. So the first thing I like to tackle is something called package.json. Why is this here? Package.json is required for every Node application. You might be saying, Stanley, this is a React course. Why are you mentioning Node? Remember I said React itself runs inside of Node or on top of Node, however you like to call it. Node.js use this package.json to keep track of your application. This is like a contract of the application, something like that. So for example, this is the name of my application. This is the version of my application. This project is private to only me. Also, listing the dependencies that my project has. Dependencies is like this, my React app depends on some other application or some other code. My application depends on this code, this library, and this library, and this, and React. You can see React is here. React, you can see React. So my project is depending on React. My project is depending on React DOM, React Script, Web Vitals. Now we're not going to go through everything what this is. We are going to quickly stick with just React here. So don't worry about all these projects. You don't need to worry about them. Dependencies means my React application, my app depends on other projects. So one of them is React, as you all know, and the rest. Okay, let's move to script. My project has 4 scripts. So the first script you're seeing here is start. So let me quickly show you what a script is rather quickly. To run one of these scripts, I'll have to come to my terminal, npm run. So this is how to add any script. So for example, if I want to add start script, I'll say npm run start, enter. This will start my application on the browser. That is all these start scripts will do. Now we also have something called build. I'm going to stop by hitting Ctrl+C and I'll say npm run build. You see the pattern here. The first one was npm run start. Now this one is npm run build. What build will do needs a little bit of explanation. Now let's say you want to take your React app and deploy it to a server so that other users can see. For example, I want to deploy this project to maybe, I don't know, vCell. So let's say you want to deploy to vCell. What is vCell? vCell is where you can take your code, your HTML, JavaScript, CSS, and feed it to vCell, and vCell will show it to other users. Let's say you want to do something like that with React. You have to run npm run build. The reason why you have to run npm run build, because you can't take all these nodes, all these things, you can't take all this and just feed it to vCell and you expect vCell to deploy it, right? You can't just do that, okay? You have to give it something that it knows about. So you have to give it HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. You have to give it vanilla project. So npm run build will convert this React app to a vanilla project. So once I run npm run build, look at this. There's a new app, there's a new project that was generated, right? So if I open up this, you see you have CSS, you see 2 CSS files. Don't worry about them. We also have JS, you can see. Don't worry about all this. We have media. Long story short, npm run build will convert your React app into vanilla that you can host. Other one is called test. More about testing later, but test is another script. Npm run test. So test is something entirely different. I don't want to talk about it just yet. The last one is something called eject. Is npm run eject again. But I'm not going to run this on my project. So what is the meaning of eject? Once I execute this command, npm script React app, Node.js will try to go online and try to create this project for us, right? But once it's doing that, it has a lot of configuration that it has done for us, so we don't have to do any configuration. Once I run my npm run eject, we are telling React, hey, we don't want to use your configuration anymore. We want to be able to use our own configuration, which I don't recommend beginners doing. So this one is kind of advanced, and I'll not expect a beginner to start ejecting from what React or Create React app configuration has done. This I don't recommend. So that is about script. Now we also have something called ESLint configuration, extend, all this stuff that I'm not going to explain, but just know that all these are also configuration the Node.js and Create React app has done. So I'm not going to explain all this one. So that's about the package.json. Now let's quickly move on other things. Let's just look at the SRC. So we have a bunch of things here. We have the app.css. I presume everyone knows CSS just a little bit. Not everyone, but this is for styling this application. That I want to start seeing changes on my application. I want to start working on my application. So if you want to start working on your application, this is the script that you need. So once I do that, you'll see that the app is running. So I can now make changes. So for example, I can change this to like blue. Let's see what's gonna happen. So once I run, you see, sorry for the bright color here, but anyways, this app.css is actually working. So that is the point. A component. Now this is another topic for another day, but you see that we are importing this CSS here. So you see there's no more animation, so I'm going to import back. So once I do that, we'll quickly see the effect. So the way to use CSS in React is very easy. So we create the file. Most of us are going to know this. So once we do that, we can do any CSS we like. Media queries. This one is the spinning thing. We can do any CSS we like here. We'll talk more on that later in the next video. We can import the CSS. Let me quickly write it. Import. Then the name of the CSS file, which is in my case capital letter a.css, which is app.css. I'm going to put this thing in front. So I'm saying import my React, my CSS file. So once you import the React CSS, the CSS file, not React, sorry. So once you do this, you should be able to, add your class names, and it will quickly, do the style. Now, one quickly thing I want to quickly say is the idea that we don't put class, right? In vanilla HTML, we can just put class here, but in React, we have to put class name with a capital N, like so, like this. It has to be like this. So that's just one thing about React. We cannot do this. We have to do this for class names. We're going to explore this, I think, in the next video, because this video is getting exhausting. That's all for this video. Peace.